Well, happy Monday, February 7th, 2022. We're going to talk about Litecoin today. Now, in one of my earlier videos, someone had asked me, hey, I got a little bit of my money in Litecoin. I hope it pays off. The only thing that concerns me is that Charlie Lee sold. Now, this still comes up. Now, a lot of the newer people, they weren't around in 2017, so this was not an issue. This is a non-starter for all of you. But there are still some people who continually bring it up that, well, Charlie Lee sold the top. Well, who's Charlie Lee? Charlie Lee is the founder of Litecoin, the creator of Litecoin. Back in 2011, looked at Bitcoin and said, well, I can improve this. I can make it faster, make it more accessible to the people, make a few more of them, and change the code up to make it a better form of money than Bitcoin. And that's what he did. So there's 84 million Litecoin as opposed to 21 million Bitcoin. So there's 4 times as many. And it's 4 times as fast because each block of transactions with Bitcoin takes 10 minutes to confirm. Litecoin, 2.5 minutes. So it's a lot faster. So he released that, and then I think it was October 13th, 2011. Since that day, it's never stopped running. Non-stop, block after block after block. It's never ceased to confirm a transaction. It's just been running and running and running. All right. So there was a big stink in 2017, December, when Litecoin was going way up. It had gone from $100 to $400 in like 3 or 4 days, 5 days. Let's say 5 days. I don't want to exaggerate here. But in that time period, it really went up. Now, Charlie Lee had been mining it for a while because, he's the founder. There was a fair start, fair launch. None of it was pre-mined. It was all open to the market, announced, and everybody started mining it. Smoking a cigar today. It's my birthday today, so I'm entitled to it. I've got a Gurkha Titan today. So, I kind of like these. But yeah, don't even try and guess my age. It ends with a 9. Let's just say that. All right, on to Litecoin. But back in 2011, everybody started to mine it. Charlie Lee was one of them who started to mine it. And so he, obviously you're going to collect a lot of coins, if you're early on mining it, just like everybody else who was mining it then. So what happened was in 2017, it started going way up in December of 2017. So at the time, Charlie Lee started selling it. And I think at one point he said that he sold it at 3 different price levels. One was like $100, and then, a couple of other ones higher, but it wasn't at the absolute top of almost $400. And I think it might have gone over $400 briefly, but he didn't sell it at the top. And if he did, who cares? It is what it is. And so a lot of people got bent out of shape and said, oh, he abandoned Litecoin. The founder just left the project. All right. So some people were bent out of shape. I get it. The thing is, he never left the project. He sold them all, took profit, was able to retire, as far as I can gather, or at least have a much happier life without the stress of money and having to worry about how to pay the bills. Took profits, took money off the table so he could check those boxes all off to freedom. Freedom boxes, what we all should do. And since then, all he has done is worked with the Litecoin Foundation to improve Litecoin. And that's all you see constantly. And I've seen it many times to where he's donated money and just trying to help the project because it's decentralized. There's no central authority. There's no venture capitalists coming in and funding it, and pulling the rug on it. There's no centralized organization that is completely running the show here. They didn't have an ICO to where they got millions of dollars and they've got it sitting in a treasure chest to where they can just issue it out. No, it's up to people. And in this case, it's up to Charlie Lee. If he wants to participate in it and donate to it and give his energy to it, that's up to him. And so that's what he's chosen to do because he cares about Litecoin. And I really believe he cares about sound money for the digital age. And that is Litecoin. And it's proving itself to be so because the people who are giving energy to it, him included, are making it happen. I'm making it happen because I talk about it, because I talk about the fundamentals and I talk about the things that make Litecoin great. Because I believe it is. I think it's sound money for the digital age. I really do. Especially with MWeb coming out. You've got confidential transactions to where nobody needs to know where the money's coming from, how much it is. You've got security. You've got some safety. It's like walking around with a Rolex sticking out. Why do you want to show that? Well, I guess some people want to flaunt that, but it is what it is. Confidential transactions are important. You don't want people to know how much money you have. It's like somebody can look at your bank account. When you send them some money, they can say, oh, well, that's how much was in his bank account. Nobody needs to know that. It's the same thing with cryptocurrency. You send it from a wallet that's got 100 Litecoin in it. Next thing you know, they're like, oh my gosh, he sent me Litecoin. Then you track it back on the blockchain, and you see someone's got 100 Litecoin in their wallet. Probably not a good thing, because then you're a target. Well, MWeb or Mimblewimble takes care of that. All right, so anyway, back to Charlie Lee. So a lot of people are upset because he sold the top. Well, you got to judge the tree by its fruits, and look what he's done with that money. I think a lot of people are upset because they didn't sell the top. Break time. Because, you want to blame somebody. You don't want to blame yourself because, hey, I was there. I didn't sell the top. I sat on it because I believe in the coin. The problem is markets go up and markets go down. You can believe in the coin, it doesn't matter. It's just a cycle. It's a human nature. It's that euphoria, that FOMO, and then the crash. So I think a lot of people were upset and pointed the finger to him and blame him because they didn't sell at the top, or they didn't sell when it was going up, and they held it, and it went down and down and down and down, and went down to like $23 in December of 2018. I think it was 2018. Pretty sure it was. But anyway, it bottomed out. So you go from $400 to almost $20. That's getting wrecked. If you bought at $400, that is painful. And so you don't want to blame yourself for it. In a lot of cases, you want to look at a demon. You want to look at a devil, somebody you can blame, something you can blame that's outside of you, an external force. It wasn't my fault. So I think that's what a lot of people do. There are other people I've noticed. So that's my theory. That's what I think. Best I can tell, what has happened with Charlie Lee selling the top of Litecoin. And all he's done is supported Litecoin and made it what it is today. So take it for what you want. There's also a negative energy out there about Litecoin, and it comes from a lot of people who are into exclusively Bitcoin. I call them Bitcoin maxis, because they're maximalists. They think Bitcoin's the only coin out there. Nothing else. It doesn't matter. You don't need anything else. Litecoin's crap. Yeah. And I see the comments. There's never anything to back it up except for, well, Charlie Lee sold the top. You take some of these coins like, I don't even want to mention them. Look at some of the top 10, top 20 coins, where they came from. They raised a bunch of money, by selling it to people, basically a stock, a security. What they did is they sold it to people, and they raised a bunch of money. And so they've got a development team, and they can build all these projects and all these different things. And yet you've got a coin like Litecoin that is grassroots supported. The community supports it when it needs to do something. Mimblewimble, I remember a lot of people donated. I donated to it to fund that project that David Burkett created with Mimblewimble on Litecoin, because I thought confidential transactions are important. I want sound money. I want sound money for the digital age. So you know what? I'm not just going to talk about it. I'm going to help. And so I did. And a lot of people are looking at a coin like Litecoin, I think more than anything, if you're a Bitcoin maximalist and you think Bitcoin's the only coin, all these other coins are threats to you because you're invested in it. And since you're invested in it, you want it to go up, and you want it to be the most powerful, and you want to benefit from it. And so I think that's a lot of the attitude. People want to benefit from Bitcoin going up in price because that's where their holdings are. They might have got in early, and you know what? They're like, if you've got that attitude to where other coins shouldn't survive, this is the only one that should survive, that's almost a fear-based mechanism to me. It's a threat. You're afraid that you're going to lose. You don't care about the technology. You don't care that the technology advances. You don't want it to advance. You just want it to sit there, and you want price go up. That's all you want in dollar terms. You don't even care about the use case. You just want to lock it up. And I think that's a lot of them. They just want to lock it up, and they don't care to use it. And I see a lot of them, why would you buy anything with Bitcoin? Just hoard it, save it. You're stupid for buying anything with Bitcoin. Well, peer-to-peer electronic currency is an important thing. Being able to have digital money that we can exchange for less than a penny, in the case of Litecoin. You can send $10 million with Litecoin, and it's less than a penny. It was a half cent when I transferred some the other day. Not that much money, but it doesn't matter how much it is. It's just the transaction. So I think that bothers a lot of people because there is a real use case there. And the fear that, wait a minute, there's only 4 times as many as Bitcoin. What happens when people wake up and realize it's got the same principles, the same fundamentals, it's got a network that's never gone down in over 10 years. People can send it anywhere in the world they want. No bank can get involved and stop them. No government can get involved and stop them. Wow, why would they buy Bitcoin? It's only 4 times as many. Okay, well, the price of Bitcoin's what? I don't know where right now, $42,000, $3,000, whatever it is. So the price of Litecoin, boy, if people ever wake up, the price is going to be $10,000, a 4-to-1 ratio. I think that's the fear. That's the fear they have because they don't want people to wake up. They want people to live in darkness. They want people to think that, nope, this is the only thing that matters. This is it. You know, we're the Catholic Church and, you know, the 1500s and Latin's the only thing that we can speak. That's the only thing we're going to preach about. We don't want the people learning about this stuff. God forbid somebody translates it into the vulgar tongue, you know, to all these people can read it. And then they know what we've been pulling over on them. I think that's where you're at. And you see it throughout history. That's just human nature. They want to protect their interests. But sometimes the truth matters. And a truth protocol like Litecoin and what it does, the fundamentals of it, hey, it is what it is. Don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. It's a great payment system. It's a great money for the people. So, I mean, people can dog Litecoin all they want, and that's all right. Do I have any fear about it? No, not at all. Because I look at it and I see it for what it is. I know every time I've used Litecoin, it works. It doesn't cost me anything. It costs me fractions of a penny most of the time. You know, when I have a class, you know, Litecoin Lisa and I, we go on the road and we do a class. And during our class, what we do is we give away Litecoin to everybody. They download a wallet, they download a Monarch wallet, and we send Litecoin to them. I walk around, send them all Litecoin. And send like $5 or $10. I don't know what it is. It's something like that. It's like $10, I think, in Litecoin. And send it to them, boom, it's there. Send it to them, boom, it's there. Send it to them, boom, it's there. All the way around the classroom. And what's it cost to send that? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. If I were doing that with Ethereum, I mean, the transaction fees of that, it makes it completely useless, completely not even relevant. Why would you use it? It's not peer-to-peer electronic cash. That's not what it is. Litecoin at this point is. At some point, the blocks are going to fill up like they did with Bitcoin and the price is going to go up to transact. But right now, for a long time to come, that's not the case. And if that is the case, then Litecoin starts to take that role as a big store of value like Bitcoin does. However, you can still move it very quickly and more affordably than Bitcoin. So it's got a lot more advantages as far as a payment system, a payment network than Bitcoin does. So you can knock it all you want, but sometimes you just need to take a step back and look at what it really is and start thinking, well, you know what? It actually does what it's supposed to do. Knock it all you want, but it works. My cigar just went out. So those are my thoughts on Litecoin. And you know what? At some point, it's good to sell some. It's good to take profits. And I say this a lot because it's important that you use it as a tool. What is money? Money is a store of your energy. Money is it should store up, you know, the work that you've done. And at some point, you want to redeem that. You want to be able to take that work that's been stored up, and hopefully it's stored up into something that's going to hold it, unlike the dollar that just gets inflated away and they rob you of your energy. No, you want it to store up in something that you can use at a later date, very easily use it at a later date. It's a very liquid coin. Bitcoin's very liquid. Litecoin's very liquid. I mean, they're both great coins. It's just Litecoin's got better properties in a lot of ways as a payment coin. It's way undervalued. It's a 4-to-1 ratio, and it's nowhere close to that as far as price goes. So that tells you it's very undervalued, and it will catch up, especially with the technology that's being released in Litecoin right now. So it's just take a step back, look at it, and see it for what it is. That's all I got to ramble on. So some of the other things I'd like to touch on real quick that tie right into cryptocurrency, but also world events are, hold that thought. What's going on in Canada right now? We have a lot of people saying the government's collapsed. It's over. The Trudeau government is gone. And, you know, rightfully so, because when you flee and you skirt your duty and you run from the people, then that tells you all you need to know. And that's what he's done. So when the mass of people come out and when we finally say enough is enough, governments don't stand a chance because we are the government. We fund the government. It is of us. And when we stop giving power to it, it ends. And that's what it comes down to. And so many people around the world are waking up and you're starting to see it. And that's what needs to happen. There needs to be this great awakening to where we realize, you know what? Government's good to an extent. You know, we come together and we want to make sure that government protects our rights. That's really the fundamental purpose of it. But when it ceases to do that and when it enforces tyranny upon its people, at that point, the people have to say enough. And it takes a lot of time. We take a lot of abuse. You know, you can push us a long way because we don't want to have to fight. Because if we do fight, then it's all over. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants a war. But at some point, people are pushed enough. And the way it's being handled in Canada is a good thing. It's peaceful, and people are just showing their numbers coming out in droves. The bad thing that has happened, or I guess maybe it's a good thing, because, you know, it's like a coin. You can look at either side of it. What has happened is GoFundMe in Canada, you know, these truckers raised like $10 million. And what did GoFundMe, you know, in a GoFundMe account to help, you know, perpetuate this, to pay the bills and go to the next city if need be, go to Washington, D.C. But what happened? The way I hear it, you know, the Trudeau administration or government, whatever it is, you know, said to GoFundMe, no, these are bad people. You know, you can't be releasing this money to them. And then they said, no, we're not going to release the money. And so now they've decided they're going to give it to the charities that they want to give it to. GoFundMe wants to give it to. So what you do is you just, you know, if you paid with a credit card for this stuff, just charge it back. And that's what you can do with credit cards. There's chargebacks. You know, that's the danger of it. If you're a merchant accepting credit cards, you know, they can charge that money back and say, no, it was a fraudulent charge for 6 months after it. You know, so it's really hard on businesses. But in this case, it's going to work against that bad business. So what needs to happen going forward is crypto will fix this. If you have a fund that's Litecoin, Bitcoin, Digibyte, you know, any of the good cryptocurrencies, solid cryptocurrencies, the real ones, you set that up, and when people donate money to that, there's no stealing that, because if you hold the keys, you control the funds. The bank doesn't hold it, and the government doesn't hold it. So I think this is just going to exacerbate that. They're just shooting themselves in the foot. You know, they're squeezing harder, and everything's slipping through their fingers. Cryptocurrency will be a solution to GoFundMe, and I think there is one out there where you can send cryptocurrencies to fund projects. That's the way of the future, because you can't charge that back. Once you give it, it's like giving cash, and that person has it. There's nothing you can do about it. So that's something that's come out of this. You know, it's just important that we realize where our energy is going and where our power is. That's really what this all comes down to. Cryptocurrency is just a weapon of power. It's a weapon of your energy, and use it. Use it. Store it up and use it for those things that are good. And that's what it comes down to. And you can knock any crypto that you want, but you know what? If it works, and if it does a good job, and it helps humanity, and it helps us to be more free, then that's a good thing. All right. I'm going to sign off for now. And this Litecoin Lisa said that she wants to have me on her show today at 4 o'clock Central Time. I'm not sure what we're talking about, but we're going to do that. Usually it's happy hour on Friday. We do that every Friday at 4 p.m. Central Time on her channel. That's a good time. But today I'm going to be on her channel, and I'm not even sure what the topic's going to be. We're going to see what happens, I guess. But that'd be pretty awesome if you all tuned in and give Lisa a like on her channel, subscribe to her channel, start following, because every weekday, she has great guests. And it's just, it's more information. It's a good community environment to where that's what it takes, a community coming together and changing this world. You see it in Canada. You can see it in your part of the country. That's how we fix things. So, you know, check that out at 4 p.m. Central Time on her channel today. I appreciate it. Thank you all for watching. Hit that thumbs up if you would, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. That way you'll get notified whenever I make a video. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for giving your energy to watching this. And you know what? You got to trust yourself. You really got to trust yourself. You quit watching the TV. Quit letting them vampire your energy and project, a not reality on your life. They're overlaying it like a matrix, right in front of you. This is what you're supposed to believe. Believe this, believe that. No, don't. Trust yourself. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for your family. Just tell the truth. That's really what it comes down to. All right, I thank you all. Hope you have a wonderful Monday and a wonderful week. And I love you all. Thank you.